We're live streaming now.
Lovely. Right. It's not quite 7. Oh, it's just gone 7 now. Okay. Good evening and welcome to the meeting of the Finance and Performance Scrutiny Subcommittee. Please note this meeting is being streamed live to the internet. Please could all members ensure their microphone is set to mute unless they are speaking to reduce any background noise. It is important to remember that you may only speak when called by the chairman. Also ensure any other devices nearby are switched to silent mode as they can be distracting. Members should use the raise hand button when they wish to speak. When it is your turn to speak, I will call your name and invite you to speak. Once you have spoken, I will flatten your hand. All votes will be taken by roll call, where the name of each member is read out, and they must respond with either for, against, or abstain. Good evening, everyone. And we'll move on to our first item. Is there any apologies for absence?
No apologies this evening, Chairman.
Thank you very much. And are there any declarations of interest? Take that to mean no. And then on to our third item, the Q3 Performance Report 2021 provides an update on the Council's performance for the third quarter of 2021, covering the period 1st of October to the 31st of December. The report enables the Council to assess progress against the approved key performance indicators for each service area. And who is going to introduce this report?
I'm happy to introduce that, Chair.
Thank you, Gavin.
So, good evening all. This report provides an update on the Council's performance for the third quarter, and it covers the period 1st of October 2020 to the 31st of December 2020. It should be noted that this will be the second to last report that will monitor performance against the existing corporate plan 2017 to 20, following the adoption of the new corporate plan Creating Tomorrow Together last month. Further work is being undertaken to shape new KPIs that will reflect the priorities of this new plan. Where performance has not been met, the explanations have been given by the relevant service managers, and they are noted in the main report set out in Appendix 1. I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you very much. Okay, so I will turn it over to members for questions. Councillor Shube.
Thank you. Just a couple of questions. On the public spaces protection orders, could you just talk us through what they were issued for?
Yeah, I'll be happy to talk you through what those were issued for. The PSPOs in question, there was 8 of them issued in total. They were issued within Folkestone Town Centre. That's where the area they were issued. They were issued in relation to begging, to alcohol related issues as well. So there was a series of those reported.
Thank you for that. Was it anything else, Councillor Shube?
Oh, yeah, one other question. Just on the air quality monitoring compliance, just for, I guess, for the sake of clarity, is there any reason that's not given as a percentage? Just you have to know how many. It's not clear how many sites there are. It'd just be maybe easier to see as a percentage.
Okay, that's something that that I can note. As I say, it's been normally we record the number of sites overall as a quantity. There are 18 sites in total within the district. Yeah. But as I say, that's something that I can sort of have a look into as to why it's not reported as a percentage. But the service does report it overall as a quantity, just to demonstrate what is actually active across the district as a whole.
Yeah. Understood. Yeah, it's just good to know that how many sites there are. But thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Any other councillor have any questions on the report? Councillor Rolfe, is that a virtual hand? You're muted, I think.
Right now, am I now?
Yep.
Only, how can we improve the recovery rate for the foreign PCN? It seems to be quite an issue, and bearing in mind we are effectively the corridor for a lot of foreign vehicles that come from the continent. It's an area where we could actually sort of hopefully see some revenue streams. Is there anything that can be done about that?
Councillor Monk, you had your hand up.
Yes, there's not a lot we can do about it. We do as much as we can. One of the problems is that a lot of the drivers, they go back to their countries having not paid their fines, and then we can't get hold of them. We do employ a bailiff type organisation that is supposed to collect from the foreign countries, but it isn't altogether effective. And until some better scheme comes along, I'm afraid we're stuck with it.
Was there anything else, Councillor Rolfe? No? Okay. Just a couple of points from myself. One is the homelessness approaches. So 320. And it obviously talks about, you know, people that have been addressed through either the prevent duty or the relief duty. I mean, those numbers are quite sort of low. So it would be, I guess it would be helpful, I guess, to sort of to know where those remaining numbers are sort of being addressed. So it'd be good to have an overall picture, I guess, of those total number of homelessness approaches and how they've been handled through other means. So I don't know if anyone can shed a bit of light on that.
Shall I pick that up, Chair? It's John Norman.
Yep.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. So this is all part of the COVID response as well. I mean, overall, just looking at the figures, we're just bringing the draft figures to a conclusion for the year. We had just over 1,402 approaches all together. And they're either prevented or go into the private sector, and we have made a small use of bed and breakfast where we've had to do that. So we're using the landlords that we have agreements with in the private sector, where we have to we do use our own stock on occasion, or occasionally bed and breakfast, but by and large trying to put people into the landlords in self-contained accommodation, which is seen as good practice. Does that help?
Yeah, thank you very much, John. Councillor Gain.
Thank you, Chairman. My question is on the number of households in temporary accommodation. It says it remains a bit higher than you would want, but it's saying that it's providing difficulty in proving challenge as less suitable private rented units are being made available on the market. Is that because either they're too costly to rent, or they're just not the property, not the single or family properties available?
I'm not fully briefed on that, Chair, but I think by and large they're just not available, not suitable, either in terms of the type of accommodation that we're looking for. Not aware, it could be a cost thing, but I'm not aware of a cost thing. It's the availability of the accommodation. I certainly know that during COVID, some of the landlords weren't turning around their properties as well, so they weren't available. But if you'd like a fuller explanation, I could certainly pick that up with colleagues when I get back in the office tomorrow.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Gain. Yeah, another one just on homes. I guess the affordable homes. It's obviously, with COVID, it's understandable that certain things haven't been able to come online. But I mean, those sorts of numbers. So I mean, delivered in the district by the council, for example, 80 annual. Is it expected that, with the shortfall, I mean, those houses I assume are still planned. So, in 2 years or 3 years, is it expected that we would sort of rebalance, as it were, so that there'll be additional in the following years to compensate for what we've missed because of COVID and this year, or will some of those expected numbers just not occur?
If you're happy, Chair, I'll pick that up again. Yeah, so we're going to struggle to recover on the annual provision from the affordable homes from our partners. We've not had a great uptake from our partners overall. So we're kind of struggling with that. We've done the outturn figure is about 22 actually, but it's still a long way short of that target. What we're doing is will bring around September time is the asset management strategy, which will look at all the challenges we've got about building new homes, about the response to carbon and how that fits in with the HRA business plan. So we've got some interesting decisions to make going forward. In terms of our own stock, we've got Highview, which has been delayed, but that's on the cards as well. So that's another 30-ish properties which will go into affordable housing straight away. And I expect us to get a start on site this year on that. So that's one of the areas where I was expecting to be on site earlier than we actually are for all kinds of reasons. So it's a combination of what we've delivered and what our partners, that's the housing associations are delivering as well. And some of the housing associations are not developing at the rate that we were expecting them to for various reasons. I think COVID is a reason, but there are probably other challenges on their horizon as well in terms of their own business plans.
Thank you very much for that, John. Any other councillor have any questions or points to make about the report? Councillor Rolfe, your hand again.
Yes, it's about the litter survey. So it says that 96% were seen as litter free, but I know from a local perspective, the Romney Marsh litter team go regularly out across the area over and above the good work of our own team at FHDC and the work done by KCC. So how is that actually assessed? So it says 96% were seen as litter free. Well, how is that actually calculated? I mean, is that 96% of 100%, or is it 96% of 10% of the streets in the district? It just seems that I know that litter is a real bugbear for so many people, and I'd just like to know how we actually really do monitor it and what that statistic really does mean.
Someone able to pick that up?
Chairman, not directly, but we will give you the answer to that. There is a methodology for doing it, so we'll give it to you. Okay.
Thank you.
And any others? Anyone else? No. Okay then. Well, I will ask that we note this report. We have show of hands, an agreement on that. Everyone happy to note that report?
Have a proposer and seconder, Chairman.
Yep. Okay. Seconder, please. Thank you, Councillor Rolfe.
Thank you.
Here we go. One of our shortest meetings, I'm sure. Thank you very much for your time this evening, and I close the meeting.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Goodbye.
Have a lovely evening.